Catalytic converter problems aren't just frustrating, they're expensive. Maybe you've noticed your fuel economy slipping, your engine idling a little rougher than usual, or worst of all, that little orange check engine light flashing right before an emissions test. Now let's be clear, no fuel additive is going to fix a completely clogged converter. But if your system's just starting to get gunked up, the right cleaner can make a real difference. In this video, we're counting down the top 7 catalytic converter cleaners, what each one does best, who it's for, and what to expect when using it. Product links are below if you want to check them out. Number 7. Liqui Moly Catalytic System Clean. Liqui Moly is one of those brands that quietly earns trust over time, especially with drivers who like to stay ahead of car trouble, not chase it. Made in Germany, this catalytic system cleaner is designed more for routine care than dramatic before and after fixes. So if you're already keeping up with oil changes and regular maintenance, this one's for you. What it does best is clean the fuel injection system, combustion chamber, and intake valves while also optimizing the way fuel burns. The added combustion improver works to lower emissions, and a single 300 milliliter bottle treats up to 70 liters of fuel. It keeps working for around 2,000 kilometers, so you get some decent mileage out of one dose. It's also safe for turbocharged engines and catalytic converters, and works with ethanol-blended fuels, something not every additive can claim. What sets it apart is how consistently it reduces CO2 emissions and keeps combustion running at peak efficiency. You probably won't feel an immediate difference, but you might notice smoother idle, a slight improvement in fuel economy, and just generally more consistent engine behavior. Now, if your catalytic converter is already triggering codes or showing clear signs of being choked up, this isn't going to clear the blockage. But for long-term use, it's one of the more dependable preventative options out there. Bottom line, great if you're looking to stay ahead of problems, not solve one that's already out of control. Number 6. Solder It Catalytic Converter Cleaner and Deodorizer. Solder. It isn't a big household name, but this catalytic converter cleaner and deodorizer punches above its weight, especially if you're dealing with unpleasant exhaust smells or rough idling around town. It's one of the few products that doesn't just clean, but also helps neutralize odors coming from the tailpipe, which is a rare feature in this category. One bottle is sized to treat a full tank of gas, and it's designed to work on oxygen sensors, reduce mild engine knocking, and support better throttle response. That may not sound flashy, but for everyday drivers, especially those taking short trips, where the engine doesn't fully warm up, those small improvements can make a noticeable difference. What makes it stand out is its focus on deodorizing while maintaining the fuel air mix, a delicate balance that can easily get thrown off by buildup in your system. This is especially helpful if your car is running a bit rich or you're picking up a faint sulfur-like smell from the exhaust. It's compatible with all gasoline engines, including those using ethanol blends, and can be used as a regular maintenance additive. That said, this is not the product to reach for if your catalytic converter is throwing codes or your engine light is already on. It's more of a preventative tool, something you use to keep minor issues from becoming bigger ones. In short, if your car runs fine but just smells a little off or idles rough every now and then, this could be a solid fix. Number 5. Royal Purple Max Clean Fuel System Cleaner and Stabilizer. Royal Purple Max Clean is technically a fuel system cleaner, but what it does for your catalytic converter earns it a spot on this list. It's a 3-in-1 formula that cleans, stabilizes, and protects, and while it's marketed more toward overall fuel system health, the emissions-related benefits are hard to ignore. It works across both gasoline and diesel engines, and it's even safe for 2-stroke and 4-stroke applications. That flexibility makes it a solid pick for drivers with everything from daily commuters to performance vehicles and even motorcycles or outdoor equipment. You're looking at a measurable boost in horsepower, up to 2.6%, and fuel economy, typically around 3.2%. But the standout feature here is its impact on emissions. It can lower hydrocarbons by 12%, nitrogen oxides by 13%, and carbon monoxide by 18%. Those numbers are strong enough to matter if you're trying to reduce emissions without diving into repairs. It's also great for engines that sit for long periods. Since it stabilizes fuel and protects against corrosion, it works well in seasonal vehicles or anything you don't drive daily. One heads up, some users experience temporary rough idle after the first use. That's usually just the cleaner doing its job and breaking up deposits. Things tend to smooth out after a full tank. Overall, Royal Purple Max Clean is ideal for drivers who care about performance but also want to keep their emissions system healthy without a trip to the shop. Number 4. Cataclean Complete Engine, Fuel, and Exhaust System Cleaner. If you've looked up catalytic converter cleaners before, chances are you've come across Cataclean. It's easily one of the most recognizable names in this space, and for good reason. This product has built a solid reputation for helping vehicles pass emissions tests, especially when time is tight and repairs aren't in the budget. Cataclean's strength is in how thorough it is. It doesn't just focus on the converter. It's designed to clean out fuel injectors, oxygen sensors, cylinder heads, and other components that play a role in combustion and emissions. That means you're not just treating a symptom, you're going after the root causes of high emissions. The formula is known to improve fuel flow, reduce hydrocarbon emissions, and help the engine idle more smoothly. It's compatible with gasoline engines and works fine with ethanol blends. Where it really earns its keep is right before a smog check. If you're worried about failing due to borderline emission levels or getting a check engine light from a lazy oxygen sensor, this is one of the better options on the market. One thing to note, it's not the cheapest product on this list, but you're getting a multi-target cleaner that goes beyond just the catalytic converter. For people dealing with mild drivability issues or emissions concerns, that broader coverage can make a noticeable difference. Bottom line, it's not a miracle in a bottle, but if you're cutting it close on an emissions test, Cataclean might just tip the scales in your favor. Number 3. CRC Guaranteed to Pass Emissions Test Formula. With a name like Guaranteed to Pass, CRC isn't being subtle, and honestly, it doesn't need to be. This formula has one job: help your car pass emissions, and it does that pretty well when used correctly. It's not built for long-term maintenance, but if you've got an emissions test on the calendar and things aren't looking good, this is a solid short-term fix. The formula is straightforward. It cleans fuel injectors and the combustion chamber, breaking down the carbon buildup that can trigger higher levels of hydrocarbons, nitrogen oxides, and carbon monoxide. It's fast-acting too. You just pour it into a full tank of gas and let it work over the course of one tank. What makes it stand out is its focus on immediacy. You're not waiting weeks to see a difference. Most users report smoother idling, quieter startups, and better throttle response after one use. It's also fully compatible with ethanol-blended fuels and won't mess with your oxygen sensors or other emissions equipment. This isn't the product you buy for monthly upkeep. It's more of a rescue mission in a bottle, ideal when your inspection is due and you're not trying to replace half your emissions system. If your catalytic converter is borderline or your vehicle just failed a test by a small margin, this could be the product that helps you squeak by without spending a fortune at the mechanic. Number 2. Chevron Techron Concentrate Plus Fuel System Cleaner. Chevron's Techron Concentrate Plus has been around for a while, and it's one of the more trusted names in fuel system cleaning. It doesn't come with flashy promises, but what it does offer is consistent, repeatable performance, especially when it comes to keeping your engine and emissions system clean. This version features Chevron's patented Techron formula, which has been tested and refined to clean everything from intake valves to injectors to the combustion chamber. The result? Smoother idle, restored power, and lower emissions. Exactly the kind of benefits that indirectly support your catalytic converter by improving the combustion process upstream. Where it really shines is with older vehicles or high-mileage engines that are starting to feel a little sluggish. It helps knock out deposits that have slowly built up over time and can cause poor fuel-air mixing, hesitation, or a drop in efficiency. It also helps protect oxygen sensors, which play a critical role in how well your converter works. One of its more subtle but important benefits is how it improves cold starts. If your car takes a few cranks to fire up or idles roughly in the morning, this could help smooth that out. Now, it won't fix a catalytic converter that's already heavily clogged, so don't expect a dramatic turnaround in one tank. But for ongoing care or as part of your routine maintenance every few thousand miles, Techron earns its spot near the top of the list. Number 1. Seafoam Motor Treatment. If there's one product on this list that's earned its reputation through sheer word of mouth, it's Seafoam Motor Treatment. It's been around for decades, and it's easily the most versatile option here. One bottle can be used in fuel, oil, or even run through the intake system. That flexibility is a big reason why it's a favorite among DIYers and weekend mechanics. It's designed to clean fuel injectors, intake valves, and combustion chambers, while also lubricating upper cylinder walls and stabilizing fuel. On top of that, it helps control moisture in both the fuel and oil systems, something a lot of other additives don't touch. It works in gasoline and diesel engines, and it's safe for both 2-stroke and 4-stroke setups, which makes it great for not just cars and trucks, but also motorcycles, boats, lawn equipment, and even generators. What sets Seafoam apart is that it's one of the few additives that genuinely crosses over into oil system cleaning. That means it can help reduce sludge buildup inside the engine as well as carbon buildup in the combustion system. It's especially handy for seasonal vehicles or anything that sits for a while, since it keeps fuel fresh and helps the engine start smoothly after long periods of inactivity. One tip: when using it in oil, follow the instructions carefully. Too much can thin the oil if you're not paying attention. Used correctly, though, Seafoam offers a lot of performance for a single bottle. So no, these products aren't going to magically fix a failing catalytic converter overnight, but used the right way and at the right time, they can help you avoid bigger problems, reduce emissions, and extend the life of your exhaust system. Just make sure to follow the directions on the bottle and give it a full tank or two to do its job. Results aren't instant, but they're noticeable when used consistently. If you're interested in any of the cleaners we mentioned, you'll find product links down below. And if this list helped you out, hit that thumbs up and let us know which one you're trying first.